Master Categories part of the show is we get to talk about the tokens we drew the week before, which give us our categories. We pick our topics based on those categories. It's pretty straightforward. And we learn something. You learn something. Everybody's happy. Unless we're giving something a bad review, and in which case the people we've reviewed poorly aren't as happy. But hey, they're getting publicity. And then what's that they say? All press is free press. No. No. Free. All press is good press. That's it. All press is good press. So, Patrick.
Thank you.
Yeah. This feels right.
So this week, kind of an artist profile. CJ Henry is somebody I've very recently been introduced to. And in fact, that introduction was made by Luke. So Luke, this is someone that...
I can't believe that Luke is introducing you to artists. That's what this show can do.
This
show can do miracles.
It's a thing I do. It's a passion.
My assumption is that CJ also plays D&D because that's the only way
the only reason I
Luke
know.
would know who this is. But CJ Hendry is a self-proclaimed scribbler that is now living in New York. She's, I believe, born in South Africa and then Brisbane for a while. Brisbane? Do y'all have a...
I think it's Brisbane.
Depends on where you're from is how you say it.
I'm going to say Brisbane. She was there for a while, and then she transitioned. She's now in New York, but someone that drew when she was younger, and then but nothing serious. And then she was someone that's always loved high fashion, and she was early 20s working for Chanel, and for one of their stores, and she had kind of been in and out of college. She had 2 failed attempts at completing a degree, both times when she dropped out. And she just said, working is so much of your life. It's such a high percentage. So I want to do something I love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these kind of like designer fashion items that I've been slowly collecting over the years. I'm just going to sell all of them and take the next 6 months to a year and see if I can make something happen with drawing. And then if it doesn't, then at the end of the year, then I'll just figure it out from there. I'll go back to working in a more normal job. And so that's what she did. She just sold all that stuff. She set out to take a year off, and she started just taking drawing seriously. So again, it's something she'd done younger, but now she really decided to lean into it. And so she was doing this while also being very heavy into Instagram, like showing her process and showing final pieces. And she ended up, her first piece that sold, she just pulled a number, just a random number. Someone was interested, asked how much it was, and it sold $10,000 for her first piece.
That's a lot of money.
And then she, linked up with someone. Good for her. Linked up with someone, sold out a gallery. Did another gallery, sold out another gallery. And it's just been growing from there. So she has pieces now that fetch $80,000. And they're these ultra realistic, like hyper
It's like
realistic.
photorealism.
Yes. Pencil drawn pieces. And depending on the size of it, she'll have 100 hours in the piece. I mean, working 15 hours a day until she completes it. And typically what she'll find an object of, in many cases, it's an object around her house, something like that. She'll take a picture of it. She'll use that as a reference. And again, just sitting there, just slowly building the detail over 100 hours of work to produce a final piece. And so taking her talent, combining that with her ability to promote herself well on Instagram, her last gallery show, I think, she sold all her pieces in 7 minutes or something like that.
Incredible.
Like something insane. And so just incredible story. So she actually has a new gallery she's working on now. Recently, so in 2017, her gallery then, before it was all in black and white, 2017, she made a transition to color. She did this full gallery where all these pieces were just very vibrant colors. In fact, all the colors were derived from primary colors. And so you can imagine the hue of red and blue and things that you would get. In now moving to her next gallery show, everything, another challenge. Everything is like this chrome exterior, this shiny exterior. And again, it's hyper-realistic, created primarily with pencils. So, very inspiring story. And she's someone that's been very successful in a very short amount of time, and it shows no signs of slowing down. But I think gleaning something from that story, willing to take a chance on something she loved, willing to invest the time, 15 to 18 hours a day putting work into it, but also able to, promote herself well and being willing to promote herself to other people and really showing the work she's doing. And it has just absolutely exploded. So I
think it's because she's Australian? Like that, the more and
she's
more
South African.
What?
She's from South Africa. She lived in Brisbane.
Okay.
She lived, but she was born in South Africa.
She's listed as an Australian artist.
Gotcha. And it could be that she just lived there the majority of her life, but yeah.
So maybe we just need to go down under to get better at being good.
Her stuff is incredible. It blows my mind.
I would love to own one of her Pantone pieces, like the Pantone swatch that's all crumbled up.
Mm-hmm.
She did like all these different Pantone swatches that are just crumbled up. It's insane. It's insane.
Here's what's crazy too, because I've been going through and looking at interviews she's done and kind of what's been put out there about herself and her background and her process and those type of things. But one thing that keeps coming up is she describes herself as not being creative. She just says, honestly, what I do, I take a picture and I just replicate it. And so she considers herself kind of uncreative in many ways, which is, it's pretty incredible to imagine, number one, given the amazing work she's putting out, but also given her clients. Kanye is one of her clients. People like that caliber of people that are, the caliber of person that can pay $80,000 for work of art. So that should just tell you a lot there.
Creative is such a catch-all word.
Sure.
That she has predefined what creative means to her. And she's deemed that she's not that. Like and it's crazy because you look at this and you're like, oh my gosh, she's incredible. She's not saying she's not talented. She's incredibly talented, and I think she recognizes that. But she doesn't see drawing something the way she sees it, drawing it realistic as creative. She sees it as creating a photograph with pencil.
So I would highly recommend looking at her Instagram. She has some time-lapse videos of producing pieces, and just getting to see the way that these things come together is very interesting. The other thing is she has a TEDx talk that she gave in Brisbane, and
watch that. Can you put the link to it in the?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll drop the link to you guys, and also drop the link in the show notes for everybody so you can check it out. But I would say check out both those pieces. But again, CJ Hendry, incredibly talented, even if you don't feel creative.
Yeah.
And just super cool work. So she's, I think, 29 years old.
It's incredible, man.
It's going to be really awesome to see. What is she doing when she's 39? What is she doing when she's 49? I personally would be retired by that point at this rate, but excited to see the work that's being produced.
And her Instagram is CJ_Hendry with an E. Hendry.
Yes. All right.
Man.
Luke.
Yeah. All right. So I had toys and games. I'm going to talk about a game. So I found out that if you have Amazon, you have Twitch Prime because it's included with Amazon. Well,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that either.
You have Twitch Prime, but right now up until the 31st. So if you're hearing this on release, sorry, you already missed it. If you're not hearing it on release, meaning the two of you, that's it. You can get this game I'm going to talk about for free. It's one of the gifts if you download the Twitch. So Twitch has a standalone app. And you can play games on it, kind of like the Steam app, where you can have Steam games and play. There's a Twitch app with games. And this game is called Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. And what it is a real-time stealth strategy game. Basically, you play different types of assassins and you have a map, and you have to sneak around. The Shogun sends you out to do missions. And it's kind of like feudal Japan, it's not feudal, it's the Edo period. you're going around and you're doing
the
these.
Edo period.
It's the Edo period. Yeah, you're doing these missions.
Thank you for correcting that because I was going to have to correct you.
Well, it's
Thanks
fine.
for saving
It's
me.
fine. You do these missions for the Shogun, and you're sneaking around, and through the map you can. So it's real time, meaning you move your player. It's not like turn based or anything. You move your player. They hide, and you can check on these different guards and see where they're looking, and kind of see the pattern of their movements. And then you have each different assassin has different abilities, whether it's throwing a shuriken or stones to distract, or to there's
what level do you have to be at to throw an unshuriken?
I see what you did there.
Patrick, you'll get it in a minute.
There's other characters that can move things with their mind. There's characters that have rifles, and there's snipers, and so you work together. And as you progress in the game, you get more and more of these characters unlocked, and then you can do this thing. It's called Shadow Mode, where you kind of use different elements from each assassin and trigger abilities that happen at the same time. So one might, throw something and take an enemy out while the other shoots them, and then another one distracts guards in another area that might hear that with another thing, and it all happens real time. So sounds pretty simple, but the game is amazingly challenging and frustrating. The other thing it does is there's you have to save by finding these scrolls, and you build up a inventory of these scrolls, but it doesn't autosave. So it'll warn you the last time you autosaved, and if you don't remember to save your game and you die or you fail part of the mission, you have to go back to the last save that you remember to do. And so that's another thing, is to not save too much so you run out of scrolls, but also to remember to save once you hit certain milestones in the game, so you don't have to keep redoing things if you fail. And the game is super fun. On Steam, it's $27. It came out in 2016, so it's been out for a bit. You can get it on Steam, you can get it on PS4, Xbox. It's on this Twitch app, like I said. It's great. If you like strategy games, it's a real-time strategy, which is a little bit more challenging than turn-based strategy. But it's cool. It's different from Splinter Cell because you have more people that you can use and kind of come at different problems from other angles.
But you have an arsenal, like a toolbox.
Right. But I like it, and it was free. So you guys should check it out, at least because it's free. And then anybody else, you can get it on any platform you play on pretty much. And if you have Amazon, you have Twitch Prime. So just don't forget to sign up for that.
That's good to know.
And every month it's a different game you can get, right?
Well, so this month up until the 31st was 5 games. You actually get 5 different games for free. Next month they have different things. The month before last was a couple. There were 2 games free, and then a couple of add-ons to other games. I don't know what next month will be. Probably a couple other free games, but there's not it's not 5 every time or 2 every time. It's very depending on what's kind of deal with publishers, I imagine. So, Andrew, take us home.
All right, I'll take us home. So I have TV and film, and like I said in the Around the Table, I've been watching I've been getting movie passes, money's worth out of the film. So I think I mentioned last week that Alamo Drafthouse, in preparation for the highly anticipated Ready Player One, has been they've worked with Ernest Cline, who's the author of Ready Player One, also has screenplay credit for the film adaptation of it, and they work with him to do a curation of films, a re-release of films that all were inspiring, that all inspired the book.
On Shuriken. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Oh man, it just hit me. Oh gosh, on Shuriken. Oh.
That's perfect. I can't even be mad. That was great.
Yep.
So I would love if someone skipped yours, Luke, because they have no idea. They have no idea what that was all about.
I just woke up like 4 apartment units around me, just so you know.
I missed the Met, yeah. So in preparation, they did this curation of films that inspired the book and subsequently the movie. And so they've been showing them for the last, like, I think 8 weeks. So on the list was Back to the Future. They did a movie party for that, and I think I talked about that, but it was a lot of fun. They did The Iron Giant. They did why am I blank? War Games. They did. I'm like blanking. I saw all of these films and I'm completely blanking on them. There were several. Say Anything. Gosh, whatever. So there was all these films. And I managed to watch almost all of them at the Alamo. A couple of them I had to just rent or, like I already own The Iron Giant, so I watched that one. Mm-hmm. But the final film that they ended things off with was a film called The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. And this film came out in 1984, so the year that I was born. This film is 33 years old. And
by the way, I pulled up the list. This list of films is so good.
Okay, read off the list.
So the list that I'm seeing has Atari Game Over, which is the documentary, which is great. It's got Back to the Future, Iron Giant, Indiana Jones, Last Starfighter, Real Genius, which is a movie I love. You've seen that, right? They didn't play all of these. There was a more curated list, I guess. But keep going. I see. Road Warrior.
Warrior was another one that I watched. Yeah.
Say Anything. War Games.
Yep.
And then I guess they also had a Back to the Future marathon. So these are all Alamo Drafthouse screenings, and I don't know that they all took place at the same cinema. They may have had at different locations.
Yeah, they do different markets. So I think 6 of those though came to the one that's one that's immediately by me. So
have you seen the Atari documentary, by the way?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, and I think it's on Netflix too. But
but this film, Buckaroo, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, is everything that you would expect from the 80s. It's a totally 80s wacky film. I'm just gonna read to you. They did a movie party, so we got a bunch of props and all sorts of stuff. Let me just read to you the quick synopsis of this film, because that's really the easiest way. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, often shortened to Buckaroo Banzai, is a 1984 American science fiction romantic adventure comedy film directed and produced by W.D. Richard. The premise centers upon the efforts of the polymath Dr. Buckaroo Banzai, a physicist, neurosurgeon, test pilot, and rock musician, to save the world by defeating a band of interdimensional aliens called the Red Lectroids from Planet 10. The film is a cross between action, adventure, sci-fi film genres. Also includes elements of comedy, satire, and romance. So listen to the cast from this film. Peter Weller of RoboCop fame, he is RoboCop, plays Buckaroo Banzai. John Lithgow plays the main bad guy of the film, and his name is Lord John Wharfin, or Dr. Emilio Lizardo. That's his character, and he's like a crazy mad scientist guy from Russia, I believe. I believe he's Soviet. Penny Pretty is Ellen Barkin, who you would recognize from a series, a whole slew of like different television and various movie things. But this new Jeff Goldblum plays a scientist or a surgeon as well, who wants to join the band because they have a rock band. And the rock band, his team that comes along with him is called the Hong Kong Cavaliers. So Team Banzai and is the Hong Kong Cavaliers. So at the beginning of the film, Jeff Goldblum's character is saying he would love to join, and he said, I have one more space, and he's like, really? And so the next scene, he's showing up to join the touring bus, and he's wearing this full-on cowboy outfit, but like super satirical cowboy, like almost like what you would see like a non-bedazzled version from like the Three Amigos, like big fuzzy chaps, and a red top with this big old like 10-gallon hat. Jeff Goldblum as this character. It was just amazing. And then Christopher Lloyd plays one of the bad guys as well. So it's quite a cast of characters. This movie is ridiculous from start to end. I watched this movie about a half hour into it. I was like, what the hell am I watching? What is this? This is stupid. Like, I hate this. But then it passes this threshold where you're like, it's so ridiculous it becomes fun. And then by the end of it, you don't want to stop watching it. Like, at the end of it, it's just so ridiculous. I don't want to give anything away. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest you go watch this film.
Can you explain the bubble wrap?
So the bubble how do you know about the bubble wrap?
Your photo. You posted a photo.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so the bubble wrap. There's a part in the movie where they're trying to decipher a message, a video message. Think of like a holo message from like Star Wars that you can't see unless you're wearing bubble wrap glasses. And so like the Alamo Drafthouse gave us bubble wrap glasses that we had to make ourselves. They gave us pop guns, like actual like cap guns, and they gave us a set of caps so we were able to load and shoot. They gave us a little parachute man, like those army parachute guys, which comes in at the end. That makes total sense. They gave us a couple of other things, but the movie parties are so much fun. They shoot off like these confetti cannons, and everything is just
How much extra do those cost than a regular ticket? Is it more?
This one was like I was able to purchase it with Movie Pass.
Oh, that's cool.
Some of them are more.
Okay.
Like the Back to the Future one was the same. I went to one where the props were more expensive, and so it was like $15. But typically they're like $8 or $9 for the movie party. Especially when they're older films like this. So I would absolutely. This will not be anyone's favorite movie, I don't think. But there are so many quotable lines in it. It's ridiculous. Like one of their lines is supposed to be like really really inspirational and really life-changing is this part where he's talking to a depressed woman. They're playing this rock song, and then he stops everybody. He's like, "Hey, stop. Is somebody not rocking out?" He's like, no, I think is somebody crying? And like everyone's like, no, it's not me. And then there's this woman, and it cuts to her, and she goes, I'm crying. And she has mascara running down her face, and she goes to like shoot herself in the head. And he soothes her by saying the phrase, wherever you go, there you are. like what is that? That means nothing. But the movie is so ridiculous that it's absolutely worth it. I'll watch it again. Maybe when we're together next week, we'll watch it. It's like $2.99 on Amazon or something like that to rent. Because you have to watch it with friends. Don't watch it by yourself, because then you're just like, what am I doing with my life? But watch it with friends because it's fun. Buckaroo Banzai. But I absolutely love the Alamo Drafthouse. I love how they take cinema seriously. But they don't take themselves too seriously, and they have a lot of fun. And this leading up to Ready Player One has been an absolute blast. So, speaking of Ready Player One, we're going to get out of this episode here in just a second. But our Thursday episode we have dedicated the whole episode to a roundtable discussion of Ready Player One with a couple of special guests who we're bringing on to talk about that.
It's going to be the high five.
It's going to be the high five. Dang, that was good. Way to go, Patrick. Ding. You're doing it. So if you want to hear about Ready Player One, we've all read the book. I think. No, you haven't read the book, have you, Patrick?
It's true. That was purposeful. So we
right. No, I think that's good. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. But we've all seen the film. We saw it and are ready to divulge all of the secrets. So make sure you see it before Thursday. Because
this will
it's going to be
a spoiler episode.
You're right. Spoiler-ridden, opinion-ridden.
Don't even download it if you're not ready.
Yeah. But anyway, that's going to be it for this week. If you can find us on the internet, then you're smart.
Thanks.
Crop is in a couple days. Come see us at Baton Rouge.
Yep, that's one. Do that. And then next week is...
Creative South.
No, Crop is right now.
No, it's in 2 days.
Yep,
this is
that's right.
till Tuesday. It's in 2 days. Pick up your ticket. Delta has last minute flight deals. Get over there. We're gonna be doing hot seats the entire time.
Exclusive
and just
pin.
hanging out. Party. We'll have pins. Get
We'll have
pins.
the
But
new pins.
come to Krupp.
Yeah.
And if you don't have your ticket yet, there's a couple of tickets left, and they've given us a promo code. You can get $20 off your, I think it's $100 registration.
Yeah.
So
It's a steal.
just go to register there and just type in M of 1, the number 1, and you'll get a discount on that. They're super awesome. So do that. Show notes and all that stuff. You know where to find it. It's on our website. It's right below us if you're watching this on YouTube. And support the show. Patreon.com/M1 podcast. Go to Slack. Join the conversation on there. If you want to be a real friend, like and subscribe and share and talk about this and comment and be involved and be engaged in the community because that's so much fun. But I think for now, we're going to get out of this episode. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm Andrew.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Luke.
Peace out.
Bye.
Hold on to your butts.